Tonight, details on the weather advisory warning issued for overnight. What will this mean for Central New Yorkers tomorrow morning?
Hillary Clinton rules out a possible run for president in 2020, why she made the decision and what the president had to say.
And a police protest in Sacramento ends with multiple arrests. We'll give you the details on why the mayor is still looking for answers.
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Justin Arnold.
And I'm Brianna Watson.
A peaceful protest ended last night with the mass arrest. The protest was organized to remember the fatal shooting of 22-year-old Stephon Clark, who was shot and killed by Sacramento police in 2018. Demonstrators occupied an area of Sacramento for over 2 hours before the police were given the order to disperse the crowd. The night ended with over 80 demonstrators arrested, including members of the clergy and the press.
Many of the demonstrators who had been detained are claiming that police had purposefully cornered protesters and orchestrated the mass arrests. One eyewitness claims that the police forced the crowd onto an overpass using death threats and eventually arresting them on the claims they failed to leave the area. The mayor of Sacramento, Darrell Steinberg, is looking for answers. There has been no further information on the nature of the arrests given at this time. DirecTV subscribers in the Syracuse area will be indefinitely blocked from viewing the local Fox television affiliate channel. This follows a dispute between Northwest Broadcasting, the owners of the Fox Syracuse station, and cable provider DirecTV. Subscribers will be unable to watch stations WSYT Fox 68 on channels 8 and 1206 and WNYS My 43 on channels 7 and 507. This is the third time Fox Syracuse has been removed in the past 3 years.
A home in the Westcott neighborhood of Syracuse caught fire at noon today. After receiving reports of a house fire in the area, firefighters arrived to a scorching second floor and all 5 people in the house safely self-evacuated. Deputy Fire Chief Elton Davis says it took 30 minutes for firefighters to extinguish the blaze. All residents are under the care of the Red Cross, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation.
In Colorado, an avalanche rolling through 10 Mile Canyon at Interstate 70 was captured on camera Sunday, leaving feet of snow in traffic areas. Commuters caught the incident on camera. Alex Rose has the videos and full report.
Holy caught on camera.
That's not going to come down here, is it?
No, that is.
Is it?
An avalanche barreling down on I-70 just west of Frisco and just feet in front of Jacob Easton and his father.
All of a sudden, we just saw me and my dad both just saw like a big white cloud to the left of us, and we instantly noticed it's the avalanche.
So Jacob pulled his car over to the side and came face to face with the fury of Mother Nature.
We saw the clouds getting bigger and bigger and just coming down faster and faster. It's exciting and also kind of nerve-wracking because you don't know when it's going to stop, how much, if you're going to be in front of it, if it's going to come to you.
Thankfully, the snow slowed down before it hit Jacob's car, but not before it left a big impact on him. He and his dad were on this snow-packed stretch of I-70 about 7:45 Sunday morning, headed to hit the slopes at Copper Mountain.
I actually wanted to go up do this tree run. I was thinking about doing it earlier. But right when I saw that, I was like, maybe not.
Jacob will have to wait another day for that backcountry snowboarding, but he'll always have this memory of an avalanche and the danger that comes with so much snow.
Holy that was freaking I was like, yo, that avalanche.
The Colorado Department of Transportation said it was the largest avalanche to hit I-70 in over 30 years.
230 volunteers came together in SUNY Oswego's Sheldon Hall to pack bags for victims of violence. This was the third year of SUNY's Got Your Back program, which aims to help victims of violence and educate the public about abuse. Volunteers packed bags with personal hygiene products, informational contact cards, and personalized messages for the victims of sexual abuse and domestic violence. The bags will be distributed at the end of the semester by the Services to Aid Families program.
Onondaga County legislators voted unanimously to consider building a new STEAM school in downtown Syracuse. STEAM is a new type of curriculum that stands for science, technology, arts, engineering, and math. The county will ask state lawmakers to pass legislation allowing them to assist local officials in funding for the project using state-aided bonds because taxpayers are unwilling to pay for the project. The timeline and cost of the project has not been yet determined.
It's the last day of the carnival season, but this Fat Tuesday, tourists and partygoers aren't showing any signs of party fatigue. Omar Jimenez is on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, where the Mardi Gras celebration is just getting started.
Welcome to Mardi Gras in New Orleans. Yes, there's music, there's partying, and there are lots of parades. These are the floats for the Rex crew. Crews put on parades, and Rex reigns as the king of carnival.
We are essentially celebrating the freedoms we have in this country by, in a way, making fun of the old European traditions of a monarchy. We have a guy that is a good friend and a civic leader, and we make him king for a day.
And even that
These walls contain photographs of past kings of carnival.
is a tradition that spans more than a century. Their 28 floats and 400 to 500 riders will be among the more than 10 parades on Fat Tuesday alone. And yes, amongst all the parades, there's plenty of partying to go around.
It's New Orleans. Yes, even if you're not at a parade, you will see some hilarious and wonderful costumes.
Centered at the heart of all this fun, though, is tradition. But in late February, the city's famed Downman Mansion burned down after standing more than 150 years. It's a place the Rex crew has stopped to toast every year for more than 100 years. And they say this year won't be any different.
We're going to stop and have a presentation, a replacement flag will be raised, and we're going to do a toast like we've always done since 1907.
In New Orleans, I'm Omar Jimenez reporting.
The celebration is one of the longest-running American traditions and is an integral part of the New Orleans culture.
The Oswego County DMV and Record Center is currently being renovated and expanded. According to Oswego County Clerk Michael Backus, access to the Record Center has been closed to the public as of yesterday. It has not been determined when regular service for the public will continue. A separate parking lot has been established outside the construction zone for customers and employees to use during the renovation period. Customers should park in the open lot and follow pathways along temporary fencing to the entrance.
Several counties in central New York earned a winter storm warning, including Oswego County. According to the National Weather Service, heavy lake-effect snow and strong winds could make driving difficult to impossible, as blowing snow could reduce the visibility for the morning and evening commutes. A total of 8 to 14 inches of snow is expected, which will pull in sub-zero wind chills for Wednesday and Thursday mornings.
Now let's take a quick look at what to expect from that weather advisory with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Joe Champagne.
Yeah, weather conditions over the next couple of days are going to be very dicey. We have current temperatures right now across the region. We're very cold right now. We're temperatures in the mid-teens. Here in Oswego, we're sitting at 17 degrees. Let's take a look at the bigger story here with the current Doppler radar. We do have a very impactful lake effect snow squall sitting over Oswego County. Just over the past hour, it has dropped south into the region. Visibilities will drop significantly, as well as road conditions will be significantly deteriorating as we go through the night. Coming up after the break, I'll have your full forecast and how much snow we could see out of this system.
We believe in patriotism. We believe in our country. For 100 years, veterans have been impacting our nation through the American Legion. Learn more at legion.org/webelieve.
It's back and better than ever. One student can win up to $25 in cash. All on Oswego's favorite game show, Spin to Win! Every Sunday night at 9, only on WTOP 10 TV.
Welcome back from the break. I'm Storm Team 10 meteorologist Joe Champagne. We have a very cold evening out there currently. Temperatures in the teens. Here in Oswego, we're sitting at 18 degrees, pretty much the same as you go all across the region, slightly cooling as you go into the high elevations of the Tug Hill. Those feels like temperatures, though, are the main story for tonight. If you're going out with those winds factored in there, look at that. -1 degrees here in Oswego, and slightly the same as you go inland into Central Square and Cleveland. So a very cold evening for us. On top of that, current satellite and radar, we do have a very significant lake effect snow band that has set up in Oswego County currently. So heavy snow is falling. Expect low visibilities and treacherous road travel for tonight and into your commute tomorrow morning. We do have winter storm warnings in effect for all across central New York here in Oswego County, Onondaga counties, as well as northern Cayuga and Wayne counties. Those do go in effect through the day on Thursday, expiring at 10 a.m. So expect your impacts to persist through tomorrow and Thursday morning. Timing it out for you here, Tuesday at 10 o'clock, you can see this very heavy lake effect snow squall sitting across the county, and that will go through the morning hours. 2 o'clock, that drifts south a bit, impacting our southern counties into northern Cayuga County. Our friends down there getting in on the snow as well. And then by the wee hours and going into your morning commute tomorrow, that snow still, look at that, falling here in Williamson and Fairhaven. We get a break here in Oswego, but as we go through the afternoon and into the morning, that snow will begin to work back into the picture by the afternoon as well. Look at that. We're back in the snow by tomorrow's commute. How much snow could we pick up out of this? In Oswego here, 3 to 6 inches by Thursday. But look at this stripe here going into northern Cayuga County. We could pick up as much as 18 to 24 inches of snow on the ground by Thursday morning. So this is going to be a very long duration event and a very impactful one as well. So going into tonight, that snow will be falling. Northwest wind breezy here, 15 to 25 miles an hour. Very cold temperatures as well, sitting at 12 degrees for our low temperature. By tomorrow, warming up only slightly into the mid-20s, 22 for our high temperature. Still, that snow will be falling tomorrow, so expect those roadways to be treacherous if you're traveling through. And then that west wind will be gusty too, 15 to 25 miles an hour. Going into tomorrow night, again, another chance of very heavy snow. This will be impacting the evening commute, and then going into the overnight hours, west wind 15 to 25 miles an hour. That temperature too, look at that, down to 11 degrees. So for this time of year, we're very cold. Then wrapping up here with your 7-day forecast, we're going to have that snow in the forecast for today and tomorrow. Very cold temperatures as well. By Friday, we're up into the 30s, and then look at that, by Sunday, 45 degrees with sunshine. So even though we have a very rough week right now, by the weekend, we could expect that sun to come back out into the picture, and then by next week, we're not too bad. So you're watching WTOP 10 Nightly News. More news and sports after this.
The second I got on the campus, I knew Oswego was the place to go.
There's a place for everybody at Oswego.
This school just opens the world to you. Have the opportunity to explore and to learn so many different things, not only about yourself, but the people around you and the world.
It definitely is about the student. I felt it to be very about me.
Now that I'm here, I can't imagine myself anywhere else.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Goaltender David Richey. I mean, they were. Do you think Bryce Harvey, a Tommy John survivor, Nathan Eovaldi?
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. As the number of deceased increases after the series of tornadoes that touched down in Alabama on Sunday, the storms hit in eastern Alabama and ripped through a neighborhood in Beauregard. The county coroner, Bill Harris, reports that all of the 23 victims were positively identified, and nearly one-third of those victims belong to the same family.
Just keep those families in your prayers. There's one family in there, it was by marriage, they're connected, and there are over 7 people this man lost in one family. So it's a tragic situation.
An Ohio teenager who made headlines by defying his parents' wishes and getting vaccinated brought his story to Capitol Hill Tuesday. A Senate hearing addressed recent outbreaks of diseases like measles that can be prevented with vaccines and misinformation surrounding them. Karen Kafa has a story from Washington.
My name is Ethan Lindenberger, and I'm a senior at Norwalk High School, and my mother is an anti-vax advocate.
Ethan Lindenberger's Teen Rebellion made headlines last year. On Tuesday, he shared his story with senators.
I went my entire life without numerous vaccines against diseases such as measles, chickenpox, or even polio. However, in December 2018, I began catching up on my missed immunizations despite my mother's disapproval.
The hearing amid an increase in measles cases in the U.S., including recent outbreaks in Washington state and New York and around the world. Also on the rise, according to a CDC report last year, the percentage of young children receiving no vaccines. Senators digging into the spread of common fears and misinformation, especially via social media.
In your opinion, there's no evidence, reputable evidence, that vaccines cause autism?
There is absolutely no evidence at this time that vaccines cause autism.
Dr. O'Meara, do you agree with that?
Absolutely.
A study published Monday also rejects that idea, looking at around 650,000 children in Denmark over more than a decade and finding the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine, MMR, did not increase the risk of autism. Despite his new platform, Ethan Lindenberger hasn't swayed opinions at home.
I've tried to convey to my parents that I don't think that they are stupid for believing that, but that people are very convincing, and that's very dangerous.
He's caught up on his vaccinations, but has expressed concern about his younger siblings who have not. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Lindenberger made an appeal to the Senate during the hearing, claiming that if people were to care more about the risk to their children's health rather than caring about if the information is false, then the message of pro-vaccination would be more effectively shared.
Hillary Clinton has officially denied speculations of her running in the 2020 presidential election. Clinton told New York's News 12 channel that though she's not running, she still plans to stand up for what she believes in. The 2016 Democratic candidate was the first female in the nation's history to become a presidential nominee for a major political party. President Trump took a final jab at his former competitor in a tweet, which expressed his unhappiness in being unable to run against her once more.
Investigators have arrested a suspect they believe is responsible for sending the package bomb that killed a California Day spa owner last May. Charges were initially dropped against the suspect, Stephen Beal, but he has been arrested again after a 9-month follow-up investigation. Beal consented to a search of his home where 130 pounds of explosive precursors, electric wires, and other items were found. Beal is the former boyfriend and business partner of the victim, and he denies any involvement in the bombing. Improvised explosive devices were found near 3 major transport hubs in London. The explosives were found in Heathrow Airport, London City Airport, and Waterloo train station, and all 3 explosives appear to be viable. Police believe that all of these incidents are related, and Metropolitan Police Counter-Terrorism Command Unit have launched an investigation with the help of the Irish police. Transport is running normally, but police have told the transport hubs to be alert for any other suspicious packages.
An arrest has been made in connection to a series of mysterious explosions that struck the Phoenix area over the last few months. Cameron Pollum reports.
I would like to report that we have identified and arrested a suspect involved in the ongoing explosion investigations that have been occurring in our city since October of last year.
With a sense of relief, investigators with Phoenix PD and Phoenix Bomb Squad delivering the news. A 44-year-old Phoenix man named Houston Willis was now in custody.
They could definitely hurt someone if they were picked up or detonated in or around people.
For months, the calls poured in. More than 200 reports of explosions covering around 30 square miles. They were caught on camera, heard.
It sounded like a cannon was shut off.
And felt.
I felt it inside my x-ray room.
Sending fear throughout the community.
People got families, man, and it's serious, and it's scary.
But in January, 2 officers patrolling in the area of Union Hills and I-17 saw and heard the explosion for themselves, spotting a vehicle of interest recently released to the media, leaving the scene.
They were able to identify and contact the suspect who was driving the vehicle, but at that time the suspect denied any involvement.
Detectives honed in on that suspect, combined with evidence and tips from the public. They eventually arrested Willis near his home this morning. Materials from the devices discovered both inside his truck and residence, but investigators not revealing the makeup of the explosives.
Based on what we do know, they did have a explosive charge and a capacity to injure or hurt people, as well as create property damage.
Willis now faces 3 felony counts of depositing explosives, as well as a slew of other charges. I'm Cameron Pollum, ABC 15 Arizona.
There has not been any information regarding the motives of the 44-year-old suspect in custody. Investigators believe the suspect threw the explosives from his vehicle, and while there were no injuries, there was a small amount of property damage. Coming up in sports, Mike Morano fills us in.
Hey Mike, what should we be looking forward to?
Thanks, guys. A top Yankee pitcher is going to be out for an extended period of time, and the New York Giants choose to not franchise tag one of their top players. All this and more at WTOP 10 Nightly News. We did that a little bit last semester. We did that like... Really?
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be.
There is no typical firefighter.
Hey guys, when we're not doing the real deal, what do you like to do in your free time?
Well, I like to watch WTOP 10 movies on demand.
Yeah, me too. You know, there's such a wide variety of films that anybody on campus can watch.
And it's free.
And it's free.
How do I get to this movies on demand?
Well, all you have to do is go to WTOP10.com and click the Movies on Demand tab.
Hey, let's go watch one right now to review on our next show.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Michael Moran with your sports update. Let's go right into Oswego sports. The men's ice hockey coaches of the SUNYAC have voted Oswego State men's hockey coach Ed Gosick as the league's top coach of the year for the 2018-2019 season. Ed Gosick had this to say about going into the NCAA tournament.
It's just a matter of the numbers and how it worked out. We're excited to get a second chance. 2 weeks is a long time. We prefer to be playing this time of year, but we're not complaining. And I think it will help rest, a lot of the nagging injuries that we've had and help us to get a little healthier.
Sticking with Oswego sports, the Oswego State Elena Sanchez and Kevin O'Donnell from the men's and women's lacrosse teams were selected as SUNYAC's Athletes of the Week. Sanchez was named after Junior got her goal and the win against Clarkson with 24 saves, second highest in team's history. O'Donnell earned a win against Hartwick where he had 21 saves, matching a high when he had against nationally ranked Ithaca College. Moving over to football, the New York Giants will not franchise tag cornerback Landon Collins, making him a free agent. The 25-year-old joined a stacked free agent class alongside Earl Thomas and Tyrann Mathieu. One team expected to make a push for Collins is the Indianapolis Colts, who could complement Malik Hooker in approaching his third year. The Colts also go into free agency with the most salary cap in the NFL, which poses a threat to land him. On to the baseball diamond, the New York Yankees announced that newly signed pitcher Luis Severino was scratched from his start with a right rotator cuff inflammation. He will be shut down for the next 2 weeks. After the 2 weeks is up, he received further evaluation. Health has been an issue for Severino as he just made 22 appearances in 2016, but slowly came on his own, recently finishing third in the AL Cy Young race. Now let's head over to Brooklyn, where the Brooklyn Nets are taking on the Dallas Mavericks. Nets looking to stay alive in this playoff race, going down in the rankings, but they have to have this must-win game going in after Luka Doncic was recently just dropped by Joe Harris. He comes back and has a little floater here to put the Mavericks up early in this one. Going in now, D'Angelo Russell, who had 11 points and 12 assists, gets that one to go, extends the lead here for Brooklyn. Now again, DeMar Cowler, 22 points and 5 rebounds, goes into the net and gets that one in to further extend the lead. Now with the dagger here, Spencer Dinwiddie with the arc here. Just came back. Great to see him doing that, and the Nets bench is loving it. As we see here, the Nets will get this win by a score of 127-88.
Wow. Again, I don't know anything about basketball, but I love that Brooklyn is winning. That's probably Brooklyn. That's all I care for. All right, Joe, please tell me, do we have a chance of getting classes canceled tomorrow?
I mean, it's really just up to the individual professor, guys. I don't think it's enough to cancel like all classes for tomorrow. But
gosh, guys, I held out hope for us.
All we can do is cross our fingers.
That's all we can do, right? Well, that's our report tonight, guys. Be sure to stay tuned for our next original production.
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and cancer. The FDA recommends using a sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher. Also, look for broad spectrum on the label. That means both harmful ultraviolet A and B rays are blocked. Remember, SPF plus broad spectrum equal healthy fun in the sun. Visit www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
I'm a lot more confident and a lot more sure of my abilities.
At Oswego is where I really found myself and became the person I am. You work hard and you play hard. I love the environment of SUNY Oswego.
David Richey.
I mean, they were. Do you think Bryce Harvey, Tommy John survivor, Nathan Eovaldi?